When I first started applying for Co-op, I had literally no idea what it was. Applying from England and being from Nigeria, this wasn't offered. When I found out it was like full-time and it was paid, I think that was the biggest incentive for my mother to let me come here. It was, okay, this is fantastic. This is a great opportunity.
I had to figure out a lot for my first co-op. There was a lot that it took to get that first job, but looking back on it, it was 100% worth it. Even though it was so stressful trying to get everything together, make sure everything was falling into place, it was so worth it when I did get that job.
My first job offer, I had just left class. I got a phone call and it was Nissan calling me and they're like, we'd like to offer you the job. And I was trying not to scream because I was so excited that I finally got a job.
So I had 2 offers on the table, but I was waiting for the job that I really wanted. Just at like that 48-hour mark, I got the job and I accepted it within like 5 seconds of getting it, and it worked out really well, and I'm so happy that I took that job.
When I was working at IntelliJoint last year, it was my first industry job. I'd worked in research before that. My first 4 months there, I worked as an R&D. I found that really cool, but I was going to stay there for another 4 months. And so my supervisor came up to me and she said, like, what do you want to do for these next 4 months? Like, let's push you outside your comfort zone. And I'd always wanted to try software. Being a biomedical engineer, that's not really my expertise. I mentioned that to her and she's like, okay, great, let's get you integrated into the software team. So for the next 4 months, I worked with the software team and I learned so much that I never would have learned in like any other situation.
Co-op has helped shape my career significantly because right now I am working full-time at one of my co-ops at Metros. This was my final co-op in my summer term. I started on as a business development representative and was finding leads, doing marketing here and there, building some collateral, and I stayed on with them part-time as I went back to school in the fall. By keeping my foot in, I gained some more responsibilities and I was promoted to a marketing solutions specialist. Then, going into after the fall, once I graduated, I was offered a position as a sales and marketing manager there. So by keeping my foot in and having those experiences and growing within the company, I was offered these positions and promotions that I may not have otherwise been offered. So it's because of the co-op program in Experience Guelph that I was able to find this position, which has ultimately turned into a full-time position for me that I'm at currently.
If I could say thank you to my co-op employers, it would be for helping just make me a very well-rounded employee.
A professor once told me that learning is uncomfortable, that if you are not pushing yourself out of your limits and pushing yourself outside your comfort zone, then you're not learning anything new. And that's how I felt every time I started a job search, every time I started at a new company. I felt incredibly uncertain, incredibly nervous. Somewhere down the line, I'd look back and I'd realize that actually uncertainty had turned into confidence, and that before I knew it, I learned more about an industry and more about myself than I ever thought possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.